Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a video that's about my life. So if you want to click off this video, because I don't do this very often, but I'm going to make this rare exception. Because I want to make a good point about it. Because I believe I've talked about this before, but not as deeply as I have before in another place I won't talk about. And because I've said only that I get busy, or that I've also said that I've been sick. That's because it's true, I have been. And then there's been lots of times in the past, I'm not going to promise that it's going to go away forever, but I haven't had any pain. I call it teeth pain, but it's in my gums, because I don't know, it's not really that I feel it in the tooth. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what I wound up calling it. So it's not really, and no, don't bother trying to correcting me on it. When I'm in pain, believe me, don't bother correcting me on it. It's not a good idea. It's hard enough trying to fight that and try to fight everybody else. Believe me, when you're in pain, it's not a good thing. So, anyway, my life evolves around me working. And I also had to delete the video that I previously made when I was trying to talk about this, because I alluded into the deal about a conversation, and I shouldn't have in the video, but I got it out of the way. Anyway, so my life is very busy. And if I'm not recording, which I do a lot when I'm not doing work or not sick, or, where my voice doesn't where I can't do anything, or I just don't feel like recording. And the way it is, have you ever felt like, especially running on these people that come on the internet, or speed runners? To me, I feel like speed runners ruin everything. And not just that, but then you got people that, and I'm not talking about them just doing what they do. No, it's the fact that I don't find it enjoyable, okay? I'm not going to say here, here's the truth, okay? Not that I wasn't already telling the truth there, but I have watched speedrunners, and I don't really care for them. They call it a speed run. They said trying to get games done quickly. You're not getting it done quickly. Not at all. Not when it takes you about 3 to freaking 8 hours to complete an entire freaking game. That's not quick. Hell, I've seen somebody else, and I barely watch people. As a matter of fact, I've always barely watched people. And here's the thing. I can watch maybe close enough to an hour before I'm done. Because then I got to take a break, and then I can catch on to the next video. Otherwise, I cannot keep up with it. I just can't. It's the truth. There's probably other people out there which wouldn't surprise me and they had the same problem. But I don't know them. So right now, I'm the only one that counts, because I know me. I don't know anybody else who can keep up or can't keep up. So, But anyway, so it makes me feel like, why should I bother? Especially when you got so many people out there that are wanting to be influencers. And, because I said I don't like competition. I don't. This is one of the problems with competition as well. It's not good for me. I can't keep up with it. I'm stressed with it. It's in that same thing how I feel about going back and forth between games when they want me to do special mini events for rewards that I could use, which I can't do. So I don't bother with it. I can only do one at a time. And even then, I barely keep up with that. Like that daggum blasted airplane thing that I've unlocked. And let me tell you something else, okay? My life revolves around me working, okay? I am a disabled security guard. I make sure everybody's okay. I have to make sure the trash is up. I have to make sure the bathrooms are clean. Or at least, one bathroom anyway. Every so often. Now I gotta make sure the plastic grass is cut, which actually I stopped doing that. And the Lord thought I did. I mean, apparently it's no longer my problem for the front, but it is the back. And I was supposed to get a riding lawnmower that would have helped out with a lot of things. But no! Even though that, yes, it has some problems that need to be fixed before it can be ran. Then it found out that there was more. So, I guess that's out. See, with that would have knocked out the whole blasted thing. You know, and I never really promised. One of the things about life is that people want to volunteer you, even your own family. Now, I promised I would help out, which, yes, we do use environmentally safe poison, but we have to use to keep the grass down. And that's the thing that I promised to do. I did not promise to keep cutting the grass or forever, or even cutting the grass back here. When I said I was done and I was out, I guess that means, well, I didn't exactly say it that way, but I said it was like, before I continue on, before I said another word about it, you know, get somebody else out here, because I can't keep up with it. I think that's how I said I did it as bluntly as I could without being rude or whatever, being all slangy-wangy, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of you are not used to this, but yes, I do sometimes talk in such a way that it's like gangster or thug talk. And, you know, sometimes it's just easier. I try not to do it where I say a word that I shouldn't say. Believe me. I won't tell you what that word is, so don't ask. I won't say it. And for the record, I am Indian. I also have other mixed stuff in my blood, but I am Indian. I got Irish, British in me. I guess I got a little bit of thug in me too. Or gangster. What do you want to call it? And thug and gangsters is a lot. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there because they're going to say, no, they're not the same. So, never mind. So, back to my life. Which is, unfortunately, a thing I don't want to talk about because I feel like it brings in and creates drama. There's already a lot of drama evolved around it when you talk about how my life is and what I do in life. So with that said, like a lot of it, and even without the stuff on the internet, or all of it combined together, or even just what's on the internet, whichever option you are, I feel like, what's the point of even me recording? Have you ever felt like that? Because, I mean, yeah, I have said this before, and I don't know if I've said this on my channel or not, but I have said this on my other one. I get depressed easily enough. Not like every day kind of depressed. Like where I don't want to do anything, but I'm always depressed. Because the happiness that I have only lasts for so long. And yeah, it would have gotten better, but now I don't know. And with the way that my situation is, which I should not be talking about this, but I want to talk about it anyway. Speaking of giving up and everything, I'm in the midst of being kicked out. Or rather, me and my dad and this woman that's moved in with us. And I say that because of, not just because of the situation, but because of the other situation she brings into it. And I know she can't help, but this is why the state needs to get in there, the government, or whoever's got to take care of it. And they won't do it. They won't help her. Half the problem is, and I guarantee it, otherwise she would have already been approved. There's no, they don't wait. And see, the problem is with the way her situation, with what she's got, is that she doesn't think about these kind of things. And she thinks she doesn't need to have somebody with her that actually knows that needs to be said yes to everything of when she needs help. And I guarantee you, whenever she goes in there, because otherwise she would have already been approved. I mean, the state don't just say, well, because you know, because they're not going to see it unless you say it. And the problem with people who have this kind of situation, let me explain something to you. This woman had 2 heart attacks. One small one and one big one. One big one that actually reset her clock. The fact that she thinks she's lost a lot of time. And for a while there, a long while, she was way worse than what she is now. But she's still in a bad situation that now she's doing things she shouldn't be doing. Taking out trash, out of the dumpster and bringing it to places that it does not need to be done for her own sake of happiness, so that she doesn't have to walk down the street. And I feel like I have to point this all out because I think it's ridiculous the amount of crap that I have to put up with. And no, I'm not as upset as I was earlier when I had to be first kind of chewed out about things. I mean, probably not as bad as what happened to my dad because of the new owner. The new owner is not as quite as new, but new enough still that he took over and wants to sell the place now. There's something else I forgot about, but anyway. All because everything's not being kept up. I mean, we've said, I don't know how many times, we can't help it. I mean, we're all limited in what we can do here. We're not exactly, fully capable of doing all the things that are necessary to keep this place up and running handy. But does he get that? No. He says, okay, I understand that. Obviously, he does not understand it, or he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. He wouldn't be getting so pissed off. Really? And speaking of giving up, look at what's going on with Facebook. Literally, they got so many people up here, and they talk about, where people come up on here and complain and stuff. How many times have you seen Into the Blue, Summer Vibes at BFTPW? So, and the thing about that as well is that you got people, if they ain't on there, they're on TikTok. If they ain't there, they're on YouTube. Or they're over there streaming, and they're doing all kinds of stuff, or doing kind of just online games or something, or they just talk. And celebrities, a lot of them are doing, these old ones are doing podcasts. Ow, that hurt. I bumped into a piece of wood there I didn't mean to do. Not the first time that's ever happened, but it still hurts when you get it just right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, should I give up or should I continue on? That's how I feel a lot of times. Should I really give up or should I really continue on? And a lot of times, I question myself to the point that I don't bother doing anything. And sometimes I make a video and then I delete it. Well, then I upload it anyway. And I'm just I'm done. For a while. And then all of a sudden I come back. And it's still, is there a reason for me to even be doing this? Probably not. If I had to guess and or assume, probably not. Because that's the only thing I can assume on, is whether or not I should probably not do this. Or continue on, And I have to say that with my life, I don't like to talk about it very often. Not because of whether or not, it might get me in trouble. Because, hell, I've talked about things in my life before. And the difference is that I haven't actually tried to bring that up in this channel. I've done it on videos that I deleted, but I felt because I rambled on. But this is one of those times that I'm going to make an exception for it, because the point I want to stress out there is that, is there a point to this? What is the point? Especially when you get stuck and you don't know what to do. It's hard juggling that and trying to keep up with everything. Hell, even if I wasn't recording, because I don't record enough to make a difference anyway, to the point that I couldn't be going out there and doing it. It's just that when I don't feel like it, then I don't feel like it because of the weather, or because I just don't feel good. And yeah, it is an excuse. It's probably an excuse I probably shouldn't use. But here's the thing about that excuse. It's not a lie. It's the truth. I mean, I'd rather tell you the truth than you be disappointed later on. Like, oh. And another thing is, I hate that people think that it's like, oh, I agree to a timely manner when I don't. Okay? Like, I agree, and then things happen. I can only do so much. I'm one person. Like, I never really agreed to be 24-hour. I never agreed to do a lot of things. I never agreed to be forever a security guard. But here I am. And the hell of it is that if I had somewhere else to be, even before all this crisis and the blasted COVID-19 happened, I would have already been out of here. But the hell of it is that with the prices the way they are, it's too damn expensive. There's nowhere for me to be. I can't afford to put out anywhere from $400 to $600 or even $800. I can't afford that. I can't tell you how much I actually have in, but I can't afford to do that and try to feed myself and my cat. Even if I didn't have a cat, it wouldn't matter. That's what they want anymore, is that amount of money. I'm not going to live like that. Okay? Well, I'm so dirt poor that I have to rely on food stamps that don't cover for a full entire month. And I don't even eat that much. And yeah, maybe I eat every day that I have food, but I don't eat that much. Seriously, I don't. I eat anywhere from healthy food to junk food. And I really don't care. You gotta do something to survive. You know? You can't just not eat. And I've had days where I did not eat. Or I've had nothing. And then all of a sudden I had something because it was so late. Or because it was something that was, oh my God, it was so making me sick. Or because later on it had some effects to me that, it just didn't sit well. So, yeah. So when you think about what life is and what it means to do anything, competition should not ever exist. I don't care if it's a bloody freaking restaurant or what. Prices should never have to go up just to compete. That's stupid. It should go lower. I mean, if you're going to compete, what happened to going lower? You can still make revenue and meet in and pay all your bloody taxes. I mean, how much money do you think you can possibly own, especially by the time you get done paying all your regular employees? I'm not saying we have to go free. Hell no. Although I guarantee you, the way this world keeps going and evolving, and today that we won't have to worry about all that. I mean, you talk about all these credit cards. Well, one day I guarantee you, it ain't even gonna be credit card. It ain't gonna be, because we're already in the midst of trying to give up cash. We gave up gold, and we gave up trade. Actually trading, where you actually give someone for something. Like you make something for something that they can make to give you. We gave that up so we can buy something for trade to make stuff with. I said I was going to try not to swear, but I didn't promise that I wasn't going to swear. I promised I was going to try not to, and I did all the way. I was doing good until this one point, but it doesn't really matter. Not to me anyway. But I'm just saying, what life means to me right now, at any given time, even at this point, it's like, why should I bother? I mean, do I even matter enough to be just as good? I'm not looking to be better than someone else. I think that being better most of the time comes with experience, though. Like with me in Avion, because I can do Avion. I can't promise all the Avion games, but I can do them. Now, I can't promise to be better than the developer, no. No. But because my guides are better than some regular schmuck that came out of nowhere that's not even the highest number one rated YouTube number one that I go to watch for guides every so often, because I don't watch every day or even watch to spoil myself. And believe it or not, the very first guide I ever used, which was for a game called Suikoden, back when I wanted 100% it, or needed to, was because it took me like so many times, and I did it without 100%ing it. Yes, you can beat it that way. It's not hard to do that. However, it does become harder when you're so used to doing it 100%. I mean, although I can't guarantee all 100% with every freaking thing. Like, you know, doing all the optional dialogues and all that stuff. But like everything else that I guess would matter. So, but anyway, the one that I went to was A Loyal Gamer. And that was the first one I ever found. That's how I knew about that. And that's how I kind of barely know about Suikoden 2. I still can't get that one fully accomplished. Because I still can't get to the ending. The one I need. And yeah, I've beaten that game too without even 100%ing it. I've pretty much beaten almost all games. Well, actually, no, I did beat Suikoden 3. Wasn't exactly easy. But 4 wasn't exactly easy either. But neither one of them actually wasn't exactly. But they came. I still wound up beating them without 100%ing them. So you'll know more about what I mean by 100%ing them when the video comes out. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. And if I ever have, well, ignore it because it's. I thought I already had the video out. So with that said, I appreciate all the likes and the views and the subscribers. But eventually, one day, I do intend to retire, unless somehow some kind of miracle happens that I can do a bunch of voices that I can actually still be a good talent for myself to enjoy things, like becoming mostly machine enough to make a difference. Otherwise, I just don't see myself continuing on, because I do like to put voices to characters. Now, if I've already got voices, well, there's not much point. I mean, some of them I think I might do a little bit better, but, you know. Well, I did in the past, actually. But as far as anything going forward, nah. I think, I don't know, maybe I did. I don't know anymore. But all I know is same old me, new things going on. Kind of a new start, but like, you know. Anyway, I'll see y'all later.